Good morning, Brasser families. This is Mrs. Daniel. I'm just giving you an update on what's happening so far with instrumental music. There's a couple ways that kids can contact me or continue learning if this is something that you can fit into your schedule. I know that it is overwhelming even for my own kids to get through all of their daily work, but it's nice if they can keep music going in some capacity. So here's a couple things that I think would really help. I really love this website, this Essential Elements Interactive. And one of the reasons I like it so much is because it's kind of it's its own little teacher, because if the kids can play along with the recordings, they know they can actually play the exercises correctly. So it's kind of a self-teaching rhythm program. And also, you would hear if there was a wrong note with the recording or something like that. Whereas if you play alone, a student might not actually know that they're playing the incorrect pitch. So when you go to essentialelementsinteractive.com, it will take you to this screen that we're looking at right here. And they would click on students. And right now it's set for me, it remembers you. So I'm going to say create an account. And then it will ask you for your EEI, which is the Essential Elements Interactive School Code. Now that school code is Florence Brasser Band 85. Just like that. And then you click enter. And then it's going to ask for your student ID. Now, I created a person who doesn't exist. It would be John Smith. So if your name is John Smith, you would put your first letter of your name and then your last name. So it would be J. Smith would be your student ID. It's not actually a number, it's just your first letter of your name and your last name. And then what they're going to ask for is your activation code. Now, the activation code is on the inside of your lesson book. So if any of my percussion students would like to have this, my son plays percussion and he uses my account for this, but he does really enjoy it and it makes it more interesting for him to practice. So if any of my percussion students want an activation code, I can grab one of those lesson books from school that we have there as copies and give them an activation code. Otherwise, in your lesson book, you have an activation code right on that front page when you open it. So you would type in your activation code. I don't have an actual lesson book that I have here at my house, but I would type in the activation code and then press continue. And from there, it would ask you for some kind of login that you want to use, some familiar login that you know you'll remember. And then that way you can get on every time. So it is a lot of fun. And I encourage my kids to do it, especially because the lesson book really is the best way to improve. Playing the band music is awesome, and it's what the kids really enjoy the most, but it's kind of like dessert. And they really need those other pieces that are really sequential in their learning, and the lesson book does that very well. So I look forward to hearing from many of you on this website because I can see who has signed on. One other thing that I am doing with a few students is, let's see if I can get this up here. This is the Marco Polo app. It looks like that. It's got that little beach ball. And if somebody signs on to Marco Polo using your phone contact, then they can actually play for me. And right now I have 6 students who are on Marco Polo, and I can listen to them play an exercise, and then I can quickly video them back and say, you can move on. That was excellent. I like the way you did this. And then go on to the next. And that is one way that I can actually keep teaching. So I look forward to hopefully getting a few more people on Marco Polo too. But have a great week.